Hello, and welcome once again to yet another edition of the Rare Groove Revolution. I'm your host, DJ Soulero, and for today's show, I'm just going to kick off the entire segment with an album called 0 Point by a high school marching band called the Kashmere Stage Band, who in 1972 put out this album, 0 Point, from which from which the song that I'm going to play from this LP is their rendition of the Dennis Coffey classic Scorpio, which has a couple of breaks within the song, as the intro to this show clearly exemplified. So without any further delay, here is the Kashmere Stage Band's rendition of Dennis Coffey's Scorpio. Let's hear it. Yes, sir, and that was the Kashmere Stage Band's rendition of the Dennis Coffey classic entitled Scorpio. And next up to bat, we have drummer Billy Cobham and his 1974 LP entitled Crosswinds off the Atlantic record label, RIP to the late great Jerry Wexler, who passed away recently. He was basically the man behind Atlantic Records, for those of you who may not have known before. And this Crossroads LP, well, rather Crosswinds LP, came off that particular record label by Billy Cobham, and the song from this selection that I'm going to play is the song entitled Crosswind, which was used to great fame for a Gang Starr tune. I'll let you hear for yourself. Let's hear it. Red Groove. Yes, and that was none other than Billy Cobham and his song entitled Crosswind off the Crosswinds LP back in 1974 off the Atlantic record label. And featured actually, I thought it was actually Eric Gale on guitar, but it turned out to be John Abercrombie on guitar, which was the guitar player that also played on the legendary Stark Reality LP, the Hoagie Carmichael. The Stark Reality plays Hoagie Carmichael's Workshop. All right, so with that being said, that was the Billy Cobham LP Crosswinds, and then up to bat we have next Eddie Harris and his LP Bad Luck Is All I Have, another Atlantic record, another record that came off of the Atlantic record label during that time. And the song that I'm going to play for you is called Get On Up and Dance, which was used to great fame for the Jungle Brothers is Behind the Bush, as well as De La Soul's Buddy remixed version. And here it is, Eddie Harris's Get On Up and Dance. Let's hear it.
and dance. Get on up 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 and dance. Get on up. Don't sit on down. Please do something. Just move around. Clap your hands. Stop your feet. Please do something. Just join the beat.
Okay, and that was none other than Eddie Harris's song entitled Get On Up and Dance off his Bad Luck Is All I Have LP off the Atlantic record label, made popular, as I mentioned before, by the Jungle Brothers' Behind the Bush, and as well as the Buddy remix by De La Soul. And it was once again off the Bad Luck Is All I Have LP by Eddie Harris. So next up to bat, we have the Whatnots, and this was a singing group that came out back in the 70s. And early '80s, you know, they had like a minor hit back in either late '79 or early '80. But anyway, this was from their LP by the Whatnots called "Whatnots on the Rocks" back in 1970. And the selection I'm going to play off this particular LP, I should say, is a song of theirs called "Why Can't People Be Colors Too?" And now, if it sounds familiar for all of you, beat heads out there who are into sampling drums and breaks and songs of the like, it should sound familiar because it's been used by so many different producers, from Tribe Called Quest to Smith and Wesson to LL Cool J. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And and just also for listening pleasure, it's a good song to listen to because the drums are just, they're hot. The drums are definitely hot, and it's good to hear, certain drums that are like that. So without any further delay, here is the Whatnots' "Why Can't People Be Colors Too?"